Sing the thunder song.
Wait.
When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your thunder buddy and say these magic words.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Thunder Buddies podcast, playoff edition. We got Barry Tramel in the house. Eric Horn is hard at work right now, writing a story for tomorrow's paper, so we got a replacement, but a name you know well. Darnell Mayberry. How do you feel about being called a replacement?
I am a replacement.
Have you ever heard, or you've heard of it? You've seen the movie The Replacements, right?
I've seen bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces. How about you, Barry? That's
No,
a
I never
great
saw it.
movie. The Keanu's
Great
the QB.
might be a little strong.
Might be a little
You know
strong.
what it is? It's a great TV movie. Like if it's on TNT, you're bored, it's summer, whatever, you put it on. And like,
I'd have to be pretty bored to remember that.
Remember the Titans is a great movie.
It's not like, I mean, Shawshank, if you come across Shawshank, you stop and watch.
you come across the
you come
replacements,
across the
you stop and
Replacements,
watch. What's your
you know.
favorite Keanu movie, Barry?
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
It's not even
Matrix?
close.
Matrix?
Parenthood.
Oh, I was not expecting
Keanu
that.
Reeves is fantastic in Parenthood. He's big time. He plays this 17-year-old.
I'd probably go with Matrix. How
Keanu
about
Reeves.
Speed?
I don't remember Speed. But let me tell you, he's good. He gives one of the great speeches of all time in Parenthood about parenting. It's all about, how you got, if you're going to be an electrician or a plumber or whatever else, you got to go get a license, but just any two old hacks can go be parents. Don't have to have a license or anything else.
Favorite Keanu Reeves movie, Darnell?
Oh, probably Speed.
It's a good one.
Over the Matrix, though. It hurts to even say that
the
I like
Matrix.
Speed more than the Matrix.
Devil's
In terms
Advocate
of Keanu
was good.
Reeves.
I like the Devil's Advocate. That was Keanu Reeves, wasn't it?
Was he
Yeah,
in the Devil's
yeah.
Advocate?
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
main guy.
Yeah,
he had more airtime than Al Pacino.
Underrated career, I think we're discovering.
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't underrate it.
All right. Playoff basketball.
How did we even get on that?
How
Oh,
did
the
we get on it?
replacements. The
The replacements.
replacements.
Because
the
you were the
replacements,
replacement.
Yeah. How did the replacements do? They ended up winning, right?
Yeah, well, at the end, I remember the other QB comes back, and Gene Hackman's really mad about it, but the owner lets him back in. Keanu leaves, halftime. Keanu comes back in the locker room. They win. I think they get to the playoffs. I don't think they win the Super Bowl.
Oh, well, I'll do my best.
All right. Favorite part of the Mavericks series. We are going to close the Mavericks series and then preview the Spurs series. I think I know what your favorite
We
part
can
is.
just talk all Mavericks. We can do a Spur one later in the week.
We'll see.
Because this is fun. The Mavericks was a fun series for being historically lopsided.
18.2. But, there was a lot of talk that the Mavericks, gave the Thunder problems and, the Thunder didn't perform that well. They won by an average of 18.2 points per game,
People
the most
forget
ever
how tough
from
playoff
the
series
Thunder.
are. That's
Yeah.
what people – you sit out a year, you forget how tough they are.
And then I think
Remember the 2011 Denver first round? That was a tough series. They won in 5, but they didn't win by any average of 18.2, I promise you.
I think in some ways people, when it gets contentious and people are pushing and shoving, it makes it seem like, wow, this is really competitive. But there's a reason a lot of that was going on.
He had
It's
2
'cause
historic blowouts
the
and 2
talent
other
difference.
double-digit victories.
Yeah.
They had one good game. And now the Mavs made it interesting, games 4 and 5. I mean, they didn't get blown out. That was I guess that's people's definition now of competitive. Is if you don't get blown out, it's competitive.
Well, the Mavs did get blown out 4 times. Did not have one lead in
No
any of
leads.
the 4 games.
No leads.
Not once.
Favorite moment, RFD?
Favorite moment from a viewer perspective, from an at-home perspective.
Does it have to be on the court? Because I think
No,
what we saw in the press
no,
conference was...
I think we're gonna get to some court stuff, but I think almost everyone's favorite moment probably happened off the court. So.
He's an idiot.
Okay, that was not my favorite moment.
What was your favorite moment?
He's an idiot too. It's like The Godfather. The sequel was even better.
Okay,
It
so
wasn't just sometimes you just catch people and they say the wrong thing. Kevin Durant said exactly what was on his mind twice.
what's interesting to me is all this season, the past seasons that you've covered them, they've really tried to shy away from those controversial comments at times. I remember this season, P.J. Tucker and Russell Westbrook really got into it, and they have a past history of getting into it a little bit. And then right at the end of the game, Westbrook was like, waving off the Suns bench, talking similar smack to he did to the Mavericks. And Tucker kind of, confronted him at half court. There was like a little mini push and shove match. And I asked Russ post game, similar to how he asked about Charlie Villanueva last night. And Westbrook started to say nothing about it. But as he was doing that, Durant heard my question from a locker over and was like, man, we don't play into that. Don't give him anything, Russ. We don't play into that. And Russ was like, yeah. It was similar to last night in the opposite way. He's like, yeah, we don't play into that. We're just playing basketball. Saying what, why are you even asking that question? But now, I don't know if they're embracing
the best way, to me, outside looking in, the best way to get under Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook's skin is to talk bad about the other. If you want to really get under their skin,
now, that's a good theory.
You talk bad about the other guy.
That's a good, interesting theory. Now, we have a ton of evidence about people talking bad about Westbrook and Durant rushing to his defense. Is there much body of evidence people talking bad about Durant?
Yeah, I think we wrote a headline once that I don't think they liked all that much.
What did Westbrook? I mean, it's a bad headline. So
he did come to his defense, but it's never been like Kevin for Russell. But that's not really Russell's fault because there just hasn't been nearly as many opportunities.
Let me just throw.
I know how to get under Russell. Well, the truth is, how to get under Kevin Durant's skin is to talk bad about Russell Westbrook. How to get under Russell Westbrook's skin is just exist in his world.
Good morning, Russell.
Breathe oxygen in the Western Hemisphere.
Have a media credential.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good place to start.
Or stop his dancing. Or
say something bad about his clown suits that he wears to games. But let me throw a golden ray of sunshine over the whole thing. The last 2 days, Sunday and Monday, have given me more encouragement and more assurance than ever that Kevin Durant's not leaving.
I don't want to read too much into it.
Wait a second.
I'm more convinced ever that he's staying.
But we all agree he's going to sign a 1-year deal.
Well, I'm talking about
saying beyond that?
I'm talking long-term together.
Well,
I don't see him leaving. I see him staying together in Oklahoma City.
Look, I think he's going to do the 1-year deal because we've all talked about how much financial and just strategic sense it makes. But
he's saying beyond that.
I'm not ready to do that. I'm not.
Neither am I.
I know what you're saying. You should be encouraged, by the way, especially last night how he stops Westbrook from talking.
That was the best part.
Yeah, where he just hand over his mic.
Actually, the best part was Westbrook's face when he did it. When he did it, and he said, okay, we're going to go with that.
That works.
But it wasn't just Monday. Sunday, when I asked Durant about Dirk, and he got really thoughtful and gave me one of the best answers I've gotten all year from a Thunder player. And then, but without prompting, he also said, there's one big difference. I got Russell Westbrook. I'm not alone here.
I read your blog post this morning.
I'm not the only franchise player here.
I read your blog post this morning. You're underrating some of the quotes on the Thunder team. You could talk to Steven Adams every single time. He's going to give you something good. That's a fact.
Entertaining, but not exactly insightful. Not as insightful as Durant.
Sometimes pretty insightful.
I think Durant's more insightful. Adams is more colorful. He's more entertaining. He's a lot more enjoyable to talk to.
Hey, listen, you're talking to the president of the Steven Adams fan.
Well, I'm just saying, I sat down with him and Canner, and they got really in depth with it. All these guys will give you good stuff if you have, the settings, you kind of got to get proper settings at times, and subject
matters. I'm just saying Durant gives you the most insight.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying I read your blog post about how it's mostly blah, and I don't think it's mostly blah. I think they've been giving great stuff all year.
I think it's mostly blah. You don't get a whole lot of basketball. You get a lot of, what's the word?
Well, you can write about
jargon. It's exactly.
A lot of times you can write about what's on the court. I like that.
I would say Collison's the best. You don't probably have to talk to him as much anymore, but I would think he's the most insightful.
I think I said that in the blog. I think that generally Durant to me has become the new Collison.
You got to remember, sometimes it's not that they're blah, it's that the questions and subject matter can be blah. You know what I mean?
I'm going to take that as a personal attack on me.
Might be.
Boom, boom. No, I don't know. You had a lot. You know what I think of AC?
You know what I think of AC?
What?
He's an idiot.
Unbelievable. You know what?
Does Eric agree with you on all this?
Yes.
He's an idiot too.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, we got a good thing going here.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if you guys will be in the league next year.
Jeez. I'm just saying, like, you had a lot to do during the regular season with college basketball, college football.
Oh,
like,
you know him more. I'm not.
I'm just saying.
You're the expert. There's not any question about that.
I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just saying.
You are
like,
the expert. You're around him every single day. I'm just saying.
If I compiled quotes of the year for all these guys, Westbrook, though he gives terrible basketball quotes, gives some very viable uploadable
You're
quotes.
arguing entertainment value. Barry is saying basketball. Insight.
Let's talk some basketball.
Well, guess what? You're
How
so
many
pumped
of those
about.
guys do that?
Well, my
I guess
point is
what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
But my point is, what are you talking about right now? You ain't talking about basketball quotes last night. You're talking about entertainment soap opera quotes that you're so pumped about.
But I was referring. You brought up my blog,
which was talking about the best press conference ever, which really didn't have anything to do with basketball.
but I was just talking about Durant's status, as a quote machine. I think he talks the best basketball. I mean, he'll talk about every once in a while he'll talk about switching and things like that.
Yeah, he will. I mean, I think if you really get into nuts and bolts, like Billy's pretty good about basketball.
Oh, Billy's the best. Yeah, no doubt about it.
I wish I covered Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
I mean, the difference.
Wouldn't like to transcribe it, but he gives you good insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mentioned this. I love Scotty Brooks, but if you ask him a specific question, he'll give you a general answer. And that doesn't do anybody any good.
We don't need to get into that, but you're right. All right, favorite moment of the series then?
Before 10-15 last night?
Yeah.
I liked Enes Kanter's play down the stretch. What was that, game 4?
4.
I mean, that was incredible what he was doing, how he took over that game.
It was kind of like a moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought it was really a moment for Kanter.
Yeah.
It was the Reggie Jackson Memphis
Not
game.
quite.
Not quite, because Jackson saved him. It wasn't. Look, but I'm just saying, like from a
but
Thunder reserve,
it
it
was
was like his playoff, his first real playoff
good.
moment. I wouldn't say it was as meaningful or impactful as some of the ones James Harden has had. But if you go beyond Harden, beyond Jackson, that was probably Serge had 11 of 11.
Yeah.
He remember in the calf injury. But like I said, I just think for a 23-year-old on that stage who's really been ridiculed, for a lot of reasons,
it was a nice coming out party.
Yeah. For sure. How about you're on the court?
Well, I'm going to say this: if you can go with your moment was an expanded moment, so I'm going to even be more expanded than that. Steven Adams last 2 games, he scored 29 points the last 2 games.
Last night he was really good. He had 2 dunks in the first quarter that were like
he had a dunk with his back 2/3 of the way to the basket. He sort of against. He sort of, if I'm sitting here showing people, I'm on a podcast and I'm demonstrating it, but he sort of went against back behind his shoulder to dunk it.
Yeah, it was like like the arms of a clock. It was like almost like he was like going,
it was
rotating.
It was impressive.
That was impressive. 2 of the weirdest dunks I've ever seen in the series. That one and the Mayberry had one where he did this fake weird dunk. I don't know. And now we got Boban coming up next series. I feel like he'll have a weird dunk.
Where's Mayberry from?
Tunisia.
Oh,
Tunisia.
You haven't been listening to the podcast. This guy only refers to him as the Tunisian.
The Tunisian is what I call him.
How about Boban? Where's he from?
Serbia.
Yeah.
The Serb.
He'll be a good Q&A.
Well, I'm not
Does
sure.
he speak English?
I don't
know. We'll find out.
I think he can, but it's not fantastic.
Maybe he won't be a good Q&A.
But the thing is, Mayberry didn't speak great English, but he had some quotes this series because he's not afraid to say something. I would say Boban seems a little bit more reserved, introverted than Mayberry, though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Be interesting to talk to him. The Spurs are not loquacious. This is not a loquacious team. Kawhi Leonard, not loquacious. Tim Duncan, not loquacious. The Serb, I assume, not loquacious.
Manu's good.
Manu's fantastico.
Tony Parker's not bad.
Boris Diaw, I assume, is fantastic.
Yeah. David West probably good if you catch him on a good day.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Subject matter. Kevin Martin's thoughtful.
Yeah, Kevin Martin, has he been suiting out? That one game, Andre Miller was in.
They kind of were playing a lot
Andre
of guys.
Miller, another
Memphis.
one who's not loquacious.
They were playing
Hey,
Memphis.
I tried to wish Andre Miller happy birthday once after a game. The guy wanted to just walk right by me. He's like, he's a surly old guy.
All right. What else from this series stands out to you?
I thought Billy held his own with a pretty crafty, with a crafty coach. Now he had the better hand.
Like I've said,
it's hard for a 3 of a kind to beat a full house.
Yeah, I mean it was more than that.
But he played it. But I thought Billy.
It was a full house.
He made all kinds of adjustments. Threes. He made all kinds of adjustments. He made adjustments on who's guarding Dirk. He made an adjustment with the rotation. Out goes Singler. He made a lot of different things that I liked. So
played Payne. He played Payne
last night for about 5 minutes. Payne
and Payne got lit up so bad it was unbelievable. I know he made a couple baskets, but golly, he
did what
he's just running around looking. He was having a hard time even deciphering which color of jersey he was supposed to be guarding.
Jeez. Well, what I was going to say is, like, he kind of did everything that you'd expect him to, which was, like, he drilled a three, then he had a nice little pull-up in his, like, short time on the court. They were like, wow, man, he's an offensive upgrade over Randy Foye. There's no doubt about it. And then he gets beat backdoor for an and one and gives up a wide-open three where you're like, well, he's definitely a defensive downgrade over Randy Foye. Yeah. There's no doubt about that either. And fans kind of gravitate towards the offense and the youth and the skill. I don't know. He's not going to play much during the Spurs series. I think that's a guarantee.
People are going to remember the one bad moment. Andre Robertson was really good last night.
He does some things that are just like, wow. He's become Tavo Cephalosha on the fast break.
Yeah, you're right.
As in what?
Hesitant
and clang worthy. Like he's
not smooth in the open court.
Russell Westbrook hit him for what should have been a dunk without a Maverick within 10 feet of him in Dallas, and he did a stutter step dribble, almost travel looking thing.
And
Mejri caught up to him, blocked him.
And then last night he had one.
And Westbrook was livid with him.
Last night he had one and decided not to take it and slowed down and then kicked it back. He's a big mess.
You know what?
However, when he was on the court,
I think it was
plus 26.
Plus 26. And he played 31 minutes, which is
Game
rare
high
for
plus
him.
26.
Yeah. So he's out there guarding people. And they found him for a couple of baskets, and he made the game's biggest play.
You think the poke away?
No, the offensive rebound.
Yeah.
They're down 4, or Thunder up 4 with 3 minutes left, ever how long. Mavs are sort of hanging in there and making it interesting. Westbrook has to fire up a three-pointer at the shot clock buzzer because nobody seemed to want to get into an offense. So Westbrook threw it up from literally 33 feet, and Robertson rebounds, puts it back in, and that was sort of a backbreaker for the Mavs.
Yeah, one issue I think offensively with him at times, we know what his shot is. He's 31% on wide open threes. Teams give him that, and he's 31%. It's a problem. Where he's become, I think, a bigger issue offensively is he can't finish. You'd think he'd be a guy cutting, dunking, and he can. He'll go up and get an alley-oop and dunk, but he's he misses a lot of layups.
Yeah, you know what, though? He's not too bad in the half court. It's in the open court where you think he'd excel. That he's not. You'd think that's where he'd be automatic. Just he's fast and can jump.
He's missed 25 layups this season that were
Is that an accurate
easy
number?
No, I mean
I thought you had it up.
No.
You're just saying.
I'm just saying, I could probably remember 20 to 25 times this season he missed bunnies.
He just made it up. But
yeah, sorry, that was
he has missed it.
He misses a lot of bunnies.
He does miss a lot.
Which you'd think
you live with it.
It's if you want to compare him to can he be like a Sean Marion type? Sean Marion had an awkward looking three, very versatile defender, but he was always finishing around the rim. Reverses, different stuff like that. Andre just doesn't have much touch around there, which I think is an issue. But look, the defense, you're right. He played great defensively last night.
A good development last night. Adams at the line. They put him on the line on purpose twice. He went 3 of 4 those 2 trips.
Well, look, he's a 58% free throw shooter this year. So if you draw that out to efficiency numbers, that's 1.16, something like that. I think. Am I doing the math right there? 1.16 per possession.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. So that he's not a guy teams are just gonna hack and hack and hack like a Drummond who's 35% this year. Jeez. Anything else stand out to you?
Nope. Dallas was overmatched. Thunder did what they were supposed to do. Congratulations to you. You picked Thunder in 5. Thunder 1 and 5.
That's what I did too.
You picked them in 5 too?
5.
I thought Slater was the only one.
I had 5.
Well, congratulations to you too, Mr. Tramel.
Thank you very much. Although, if I'd known how banged up and beat up Dallas was, I might have picked him in 4. Although, if I knew that Dirk was still mostly Dirk Nowitzki, I might have gone back to 5.
Good. He was good.
He looked like 2011 the last 2 games.
They would have had a ball team if they'd have gotten DeAndre Jordan and Chandler Parsons didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have been like title worthy, but they would have been.
They'd been good. Yeah.
They would have been battling the Clippers for the 4th.
The one thing though,
actually, they would have been ahead of the Clippers because they would not. Clippers would not.
The one thing they don't have that they need, and you got to have it in the West, is a premier point guard.
Yeah,
and they don't. They just got a bunch of old point guards. They lead the world in old point guards. Old point guards never die. They just drift off to the Dallas Mavericks. J.J. Barea.
No,
Darren Williams. Raymond Felton. Devin Harris.
Doubt. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to fix that. Sounds like Dwight Howard may be there.
They'll probably go after Mike Conley.
The Rockets season hasn't even ended.
Great move for them.
Yeah, for anybody.
He'd be good for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that needs a starting point guard, he'd be.
I love Mike Conley.
Did you see what Chandler Parsons said today at their exit interviews? Look, the Rockets are still playing. He came out and said, "Oh, Dwight's leaving the Rockets. I think he'll be great here." Like already saying, like
Parsons said that.
Yeah, I guess that's what I read online. I mean, I guess at his exit interviews he said that because I mean he's boys with Dwight, obviously from Rockets days and beyond. Before that,
well, Howard, I've thought Dallas is a natural for Dwight Howard, and he sort of fits the Mavericks, who. Even when they were good, the year they won the title, they won it with Dirk and a bunch of guys that were just barely over the hill.
Except for Tyson Chandler.
Yeah.
Chandler, I think, was 27.
Yeah, he was in his prime. You're right. But Sean Marion and Deshaun Stevenson and Jason Kidd and
Jason Terry.
Yep. And that's what they've all seen. Monty Ellis came 2 years ago. Seems like they always have guys like that.
Monty Ellis.
Seems like they always have guys like that.
Guys like what?
Guys that are just
past their
prime but still can play. I mean, these guys we saw, they can still play.
Well, Wesley Matthews isn't past his prime.
No, but he's injury-wise, I don't know if he's
back.
Although he's 30 years old, RFD. We looked it up the other day.
That's shocking to me.
Yeah, I would have thought he's 28, 29.
We looked it up the other day, didn't we? He was 30. We
I
looked it up.
like 27.
I think he's 30. We looked it up in Dallas.
I'm going to look right now.
Yeah, I think he's 30. So
that's a concern. That turns
just
into a bad contract.
Dallas.
29. October 14th. He will be 30
in October.
Okay. So before the start of next season, he'll be 30, which is.
I mean, he's still in his prime, but he's on the backside of his prime, which is sort of my point. Dallas isn't getting any up and comers. They're getting guys like Dwight Howard who can still play, but on the downside.
Yeah, they're doing the opposite of the Thunder.
Yeah.
They go out and get these free agents and.
Yeah, and the Thunder gets guys that are 22 and 23. Yeah.
Right.
They get guys like Adams, who keeps getting better and better, and Waiters, who's still young, Robertson, Cantor.
Josh Eustace, Slater's boy.
We'll see next year. He could. I mean, like, I think he'll have a legit battle with Kyle Singler for like a backup wing spot in camp next year.
He's got to learn how to shoot it.
Well, it's going to be hard for him to win.
Not saying Singler
They're not going to,
is great, but he's got to learn how to shoot it.
You don't mean for a roster spot. You mean for a rotational spot.
Yeah. For Kyle Singler's minutes. Yeah, 10th man. Guys who now in the first round have 0 minutes.
Oh, let me say one other thing about the Dallas series. The demise of Nick Collison's career was greatly exaggerated.
Oh,
he had a couple of nice games.
He played okay. I honestly,
he wasn't good in Game 3, but he was good in Game 4.
At this point, I would like I've said, I would 3-man rotation, 96 minutes, split them between, just rotate Ibaka, Cantor, Adams. You could play Adams and Cantor together now, especially because Cantor can spread it and shoot it a little bit at that 4 position. Look, Nick Collison isn't doing anything on the floor that's wow, he needs to be off the floor, although Dirk kind of got some buckets on him. But they're so loaded in the front court, I just don't see the reason to play Collison.
Well, he can guard to some degree Dirk Nowitzki, and he can guard to some degree LaMarcus Aldridge.
My point is, like, what's ahead of him makes it, like...
I'm with you, but...
You're taking away
There's a few minutes where I can see where... I mean, Cantor never plays 32 minutes no matter what.
Maybe that's...
Maybe, I mean, that... But,
an issue.
I mean, there's a reason for that. So, I mean, I can see Nick getting 5 or 6 minutes against the Spurs.
My point is, like, when Nick Collison's on the floor, why can't that be Enes Kanter? Or if it's Nick Collison with Enes Kanter, which it often is sometimes where it's Ibaka and Adams on the bench together, have Ibaka out there, have Adams out there. Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah. But I mean, but what I said is we saw Carlson play halfway decent, and he hadn't been playing much at all. What we didn't see was a revival of Randy Foye's career. The Thunder needs Randy.
Were you expecting that?
Well, no, but we saw the revival of an aging guard's career in this series. Unfortunately, it was Raymond Felton, not Randy Foye.
Look, Raymond Felton had a bit more responsibilities than Randy Foye. Randy Foye was like, go in, like guard somebody. Yeah. If you're open, like maybe shoot a three, and that's
we didn't ask much out of Raymond Felton. I mean, out of Raymond Foye.
Randy Foye is
struggling.
Randy Foye
out
is
of
his name.
We didn't ask much out of Randy Foye.
There you go.
And he certainly did not deliver.
No, he didn't.
So,
who would you play in the Spurs series at the backup point guard?
At the backup point guard, I wouldn't trust Cameron Payne at this point.
Heck no.
Would you play Randy Foye?
Got to.
No, you don't have to.
What are you gonna do?
Play Russ 40 minutes. Dion Waiters and Durant handle the point guard duties. Beyond, maybe get Morrow some a little squirts of minutes.
I might have to go with Payne.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not great options.
I'd go with Foye.
I might try. I might start with Foye, but I'd have a real quick trigger.
Well, if he,
I feel like I'd have Payne and have a quick trigger.
He's going to guard him though. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
What I'd do is in the first half, I'd go Payne, see if he can make a few plays. Second half,
he's going to make some plays, but can he even find his man? Much less stop him. Can he even find his man?
Well, what you're losing defensively, you're getting offensively with Payne.
I don't think it's an even trade. I don't think it's an even trade.
He's not like Foy's some lockdown defender. He's just better than Payne on defense.
Quite a bit better.
It's going to be interesting, huh?
Your good friend Kyle Singler will make an appearance. He will reappear. No chance he won't. No chance.
There's a chance he won't.
Can I just say this?
Yes.
I'm glad that we have no idea what to expect. I'm not
you
throwing anyone under the bus here, but I'm just saying.
I think you're throwing the Washington Wizards
compared to the last few years. We knew exactly what to expect. Now we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who Billy Donovan's going to play.
Did we know what was going to happen in 14?
14.
Well, he got desperate and he started playing.
The year Ibaka got hurt.
No, yeah. Thabo ends up not even playing down the stretch of Memphis. Next round, plays all the time against the Clippers, and then ends up not playing down the stretch against the Spurs. It was the darndest thing.
Yeah, I think you might be remembering that a little differently, Bear. It was kind of obvious that Reggie needed to be playing over Thabo at that point. And that's what Scottie ended up doing.
It was a huge decision because he'd never done that before.
Right, but it wasn't a difficult decision. Just because you've never done it doesn't mean it's not the right decision. I didn't say it was
difficult, but he'd never done it is what we're saying. And we were surprised when he did it.
Yeah. And now my point is we don't know what to expect in any of this. That adds an element of intrigue to me. If
I'm Donovan and I'm not sure I play Singler, look, Durant's going to get 41, 42 minutes a night. They'd need to start. I understood against the Mavericks playing them less. They were going to win anyways. They had cushions. They didn't have to play half the fourth quarter in a couple games. But why not? You're saying Singler needs to come in and guard Kawhi. Guard him with Robertson, Waiters, and Durant for the 48 minutes. I'm not sure Singler needs to play. Singler's been out of the rotation. He was out of rhythm for a while. He's shooting under 30 or around 30% from three this season. Your one shining Kyle Singler thing is, he gets back on defense. I'm sorry. The rotation's going to shrink. Kyle Singler should be out of it.
The Spurs don't run a ton. So, I'm with you on that. His value is a little bit lessened against a slow-down team.
All right, a little peek ahead. What is the matchup you're watching in this Spurs series?
Well, I never take my eyes off Russell Westbrook, no matter who's guarding him. But, Durant and Leonard's a matchup of guys vying for a first-team All-NBA slot.
Well, that campaign is over.
It's like Chris Paul, Steph Curry. It's like DeAndre Jordan, DeMarcus Cousins.
Did Durant's first round concern you? He shot under 40.
No, he's gonna make shots.
Yeah.
The turnovers, the 7 turnovers in game, what was that? Game 2.
Same night he went 7
Those were concerning, but he's going to make shots.
And he turned those down.
Yes, he did.
The last 2 or 3 games. But Dallas, here's the difference. Dallas really doesn't create a lot of turnovers. So that's something to keep an eye on. Will the Thunder be able to take care of the ball?
In the one real Thunder Spurs matchup this series, I guess you could count the opener, but the one where they all played in San Antonio, I think it was the ABC Saturday night game. Popovich, for long stretches of the game, had Kawhi guarding Westbrook and Danny Green guarding Kevin Durant. How much mix and matching do you think he's going to do?
A lot. I'm going to answer your question, though, about the matchup I'm most looking forward to. It's a sleeper. You wouldn't expect me to say this. You wouldn't expect anyone to say this.
I might say it. I don't know what it is yet.
Tony Parker versus Dion Waiters / Anthony Morrow / Randy Foye.
What about Robertson? I feel like Robertson
/ Andre Robertson.
Robertson might get a lot of time.
And I'm not saying Andre on Tony. I'm saying Tony on them. Can those guys expose Tony Parker? Can they step up?
Or Mills, because he ends up playing Mills sometimes.
Yeah. Can those guys, those others for the Thunder, who you don't really expect to go off, can they step up their scoring production and take advantage of Tony Parker?
It almost has to be Waiters in that sense because, the Spurs will hide Tony Parker on Andre Robertson from tip-off. But, the Thunder needs him to hit a corner 3 if he's open, he's shooting it. But they're never going to, go to him at all. If it's late, if there's 5 minutes left in the game and, it's Thunder starters plus Dion Waiters for Robertson, which I expect it to be a lot of times, can he do what he did in the opener of the season, which was hit 2 shots on Tony Parker? The Thunder may go to him in that matchup. And you're right. I think he needs to.
He's got to take advantage of Tony Parker.
Which, like I've said since maybe mid-season, it's scary, but their title hopes potentially could linger on if Dion Waiters can play like he did in 3, 4, 5. And if their title hopes linger on Dion Waiters, buckets. It creates intrigue though, doesn't it? All right, you guys want an underrated matchup? Canner against David West. Because Canner has a just massive advantage. He had a massive advantage in the Mavericks series when it was Mejri or it was David Lee or whoever coming off the bench. Against almost any team this season, he doesn't really need to worry about his defense one-on-one against reserve bigs because there's not many reserve bigs that score in the league. David West is one. David West is a guy that can up and under him. He can draw fouls. He can get in the pick and roll with Mills or something. That's a concern.
Yeah, I also don't think West will be guarding Cantor. I think the Serb will guard him a lot.
That means he's playing Boban, which, I think he will.
How could he not play Boban after what he did to the Thunder?
I agree. I think he might know that he has to because of the size and the way the Thunder just.
You know who might not play as much as normal? Boris Diaw.
I think that'd be a mistake.
Well, I do too, but Diaw's got trouble. Who's Diaw going to guard? Is he going to guard Cantor?
Yeah.
I'll say this. Anytime
the thing is, Cantor guarding Diaw is could potentially be scary on the other end for the Thunder.
Anytime the Spurs guard Cantor with Diaw instead of the Serb, I think Enes Kanter and Billy Donovan are happy because the Serb is the big, tall, lengthy guy. Those guys give Cantor the most trouble. We saw it some with the Tunisian.
Will you call him the Serb all series like you
I think I will call him the Serb.
Yes,
I think I will call him the Serb.
Boban's a pretty easy name.
Boban.
What's his last name?
Bobanovic or something?
Marjanovic.
Boban
Marjanovic.
Boban Marjanovic. I'll probably just stay with the Serb.
Yeah, I know you will.
The Serbian. Not the greatest Serb in the history of the NBA. However,
who?
The Serb is not the greatest Serb in the history of the NBA. However, the Tunisian that we just saw play is the greatest Tunisian in the history of the NBA.
He's got a chance to be decent. I think he's 29 already, or 30. Oh, who's the greatest Serbian ever then?
Oh, I don't know. Who's
Kukoc, maybe? He's Serbian, right?
Was a Who was the dude from the Celtics 20 years ago, 15 years ago?
From Serbia?
Yeah, wasn't he good? Was he from Croatia?
I don't know.
Big guy. 6'10".
I believe Dario Saric, the Sixers.
Is he Serbian?
Yes, he is.
I believe.
Yeah.
I want to see him play.
When's he coming over?
I don't know. Maybe never.
Maybe next season.
Maybe. What else? What else? What else?
Do you guys believe Mark Cuban, or is he just playing mind games with Russell Westbrook?
I think, it's some people say like, oh, he's playing mind games. He doesn't come into the arena like, I'm going to say this and this is going to pop off and it's going to be great. Like, he just is Mark Cuban, which means he holds if reporters come over, he talks to them. And somebody asked him, I believe it was Eric asked him something about
All NBA,
and he said like, oh, well, Kevin Durant's not just All NBA. He's like a superstar, an absolute superstar. And I think he said something about like he's the one on their team, and then somebody questioned him like, what do you mean one, like not two? And that's when he said it. But like I said, like this, he wasn't planning to like play a mind game on Russell Westbrook.
No.
I think if I had to guess, I bet 20 minutes after when he was seeing the reaction, he was like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
The funniest thing was all his guys took the Thunder side. Rick Carlisle, Dirk.
Like, because it's an idiot. Yeah. Because, as has been well documented, it was an idiotic stance. Russell Westbrook is a superstar.
Right.
That's by definition.
I don't know. I mean, look, he is. I'm just saying, like, some people, like, I guess define it differently. Like, that's like an objective.
Mark Cuban
objective term.
He created a holy of holies. He created a small, tiny, insular group that really, in his mind, I guess, is 3 or 4 players.
Which is crazy to me because, like, I agree that, like, Dirk is a Hall of Famer, like, superstar, whatever, but, like, he's not even an All-Star this year. You know what I mean? Like, at this point in time.
Well, what he really meant was superstar emeritus.
Yeah, like, face of franchise, that type of stuff.
But, I mean, I don't think Chris Paul's going to lead a team of yahoos to 50 wins.
There was a what the Hornets finish when they were here, 41 and 41?
38 and 44, I think.
Something like that?
Yeah.
38, 44. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Both seasons?
39
and 40?
38 or 39. I don't think they ever got to 40 wins.
Okay. Maybe you're right. You might be right. I think you are.
There was a theory
they
that
stayed in the playoff race.
And that was his first 2 years, too.
Yeah,
by the way.
He's good.
Oh, I'll just let you guys go on Chris Paul. Oh, wait, first of all.
I didn't bring up Chris Paul.
First of all, how you mourning
heartbreaking.
This morning? Yeah, it is. It's
heartbreaking.
Tough.
Him and Steph Curry, not just Chris Paul. Man, I mean, you want to see
Curry
the best players healthy.
You know what I mean? I think Curry.
I thought the Clippers were going to win, beat the Warriors.
What?
I thought the Clippers were
He meant with now Steph, like for the day.
After the Curry injury and before the CP3 injury.
Okay.
I was taking the Clippers.
I got you. I still.
But that's a great. And here's what's interesting to me. Put them. Here's a great question. Put both guys back in the lineup. And gauge how it is in your mind the distance between the two teams. Now take them both off the lineup. And what has been done to the gulf? Has it got closer or has it expanded?
All you need to know is...
And in my opinion, it's expanded. And if it has expanded, then why is Steph Curry the MVP and not Chris Paul?
Well, you don't got to convince Darnell.
Is that a good question? That, to me, is a good question.
Barry,
well, I think part of the... no, that's not... I mean, Steph Curry's the MVP. Look, he just is. He is Mark Cuban. Don't make me.
I'm not saying.
Say it, Slater.
I just gave you an example of value.
He's respecting his.
Here's the difference between the two teams. Take them both away. Do they get closer together?
I think.
Or do they get farther apart?
I think part of it is like Blake Griffin and his like the unknown of Blake Griffin right now too, with the thigh and how bad he's been. Remember the Clippers played really well with Paul out. I think it was not this season, but the season before, because Griffin was like at his best. But the problem, the problem right now is Griffin's like very, like I said, he's unknown. Reddick's banged up. Clippers missed a shot. They missed a shot.
Who the Clippers gonna try out there? Austin Rivers,
Ostentatious Rivers. Who else would it be?
Jamal Crawford, maybe
at point guard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I think it'll be Rivers. He's actually
who's come off the bench?
listen,
Pablo.
He's actually played halfway decent. Austin Rivers.
You know who's been decent? Austin Rivers and Cole Aldridge.
Cole
Aldridge is a stud.
Okay. Oh. Okay. You're just making some crazy statements today.
You're going to force him to say it. You're going to force Slater to say it. He's trying to have respect for his elders right now.
I'm going to maintain it, but wow.
Cole Aldridge is a solid NBA backup center.
Yeah, there's a difference between solid NBA backup center and Cole Aldridge is a stud.
Well, I was saying that for a fact. Considering people thought he was a stiff. He's not a stiff.
No, he's been playing pretty good.
We thought maybe he could turn into a decent defender, but he had hands of stones. No, he's got decent hands and some good moves around the bucket.
He had maybe my favorite play of the first round. He was running back on – it was like the most Cole Aldridge thing I've seen. He was running back on in transition defense, and he like tripped over his own feet, and he like stumbled, got his balance, turns around, Damian Lillard's dribbling at him, and he like picks Damian Lillard, like dives on a loose ball, like right after tripping over his own feet.
He's helped the Clippers.
No doubt. They were playing Josh Smith kind of as their backup center. They were just going small with their backups and Josh Smith early in the year. Remember that was their big like signing kind of. And like Cole Aldridge completely outplayed him to the point Smith was getting DMPs, and then they just handed him back to the Rockets, Josh Smith. So, predictions, Darnell, because you're probably this may be your chance to throw out your Spurs Thunder prediction.
I picked Spurs in 5 before the series. I'm not huge on momentum in the playoffs. I don't really believe that exists all that much in the playoffs. But I do believe in confidence in the postseason, and I think the Thunder gained a ton of confidence in this Mavs series. It was sort of the perfect series for them, in my opinion. They needed to go out there and play really well.
Get ticked off a little bit.
Yeah,
about
and like it got physical, it got testy, and emotional, and it really woke them up. I think it really got their attention.
Yeah, and if you're Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, like you trust Deion Waiters a little bit more now,
right?
And Ennis Canner a little bit
and
more
Serge
now.
Ibaka's
and Steven
come
Adams.
back from the dead. Yeah, so they got that going for them, I think, and I think just Danny Ferry said it in our paper today in the Q&A that I think Eric did. That Steph Curry injury, I think, has given everyone a new level of confidence.
Yeah, a new lease on life.
And
you don't have to be superhuman to win the NBA title, perhaps.
So now I think, like Durant and Westbrook, I don't think they ever had any doubt that they could win the title this year. But the rest of those guys, I think now they have more of a feeling that, hey, we can actually do this. If we play right, if we play the right way, if we play well, if we execute, do all those things. So with all that being said, I said 5, Spurs in 5 at the beginning of the playoffs. I think I'll probably still say Spurs in 6. It might go 7, but I'm still taking the Spurs. I just think the Thunder has to have too many things go well to beat a team like the Spurs.
Yeah, an issue here is home court. Spurs 41 at home this season, and like even dating back to 14. Remember how big home court was in that series, where it was like blowout in San Antonio, Thunder win at home, blowout in San Antonio, OT in OKC. The Thunder, you almost feel like have to win every home game this series, which is like,
if you don't win every home game,
you got to win.
You're going to have to beat the Spurs more in this series than they lost all season at home.
Yeah, for sure. And like that, I think that's like a little bit of an improper way to look at it, because the regular season and some of the home games they played against whoever's at whatever time. Because I'm not saying the Thunder can't, or it's impossible to beat the Spurs twice in San Antonio, but it's daunting. It
be daunting.
I think they got to steal 1 or 2 for sure. Like
I'd recommend one of the first 2.
Yeah.
Here's the truth: Thunder hasn't played all that great at home, comparatively.
I am really, really interested in Adams Duncan now that I think about it. Because I think, remember the Christmas Day game?
Adams plays him well.
Yeah. Remember really the Christmas game? I believe you covered it last year.
Yeah.
Durant's out. I think he had it was
his toe, not his toe, his ankle.
Yeah, I mean, like it was, regardless, he didn't play. And the Thunder went into San Antonio, beat the Spurs because Westbrook and Adams kind of had like a Westbrook-Canner type game. And Adams played him really well defensively. Like, Thunder have an interior advantage in this series unless Aldridge really goes off. That's where I think they can win it.
We haven't even said the words Ibaka and Aldridge, but that's a key matchup. In the past, the Thunder against Aldridge, they've used Kendrick Perkins on him.
I think the Thunder potentially lulled some people to sleep this season with some of their whatever struggles on stuff. Like, they could just be really dangerous with their interior.
That's why if they could go win one of these first two, all of a sudden everything changes. Then you got a best of 5, and you got home court. Then it all changes.
So I said 6, maybe 7. You guys?
I'm taking the Thunder in 6. I did it before the playoffs.
Thunder in 6.
And then I picked the Warriors in the conference finals. But I mean, it's going out on a limb, and like, look, the Spurs should be favored, but like, I just have this gut feeling there's going to be just this monster desperation from the Thunder, and the athleticism is really going to show defensively. And I think Westbrook is playing his best basketball ever. I think Durant versus Leonard is going to be, I just think Kevin really wants to show in that matchup. And then, as I've written about, as I keep talking about, like, they're really good inside. The Thunder is really, really good inside. They're better inside now than they were 5 days ago, and they're better 5 days ago than they were 5 days before that. Like, they're getting way better inside.
We were at lunch today, and a bunch of TVs were on, ESPN channels, and I saw somewhere on one of the little banners at the bottom, it said, the Thunder has a 26% chance of winning this series. I felt like that was pretty low.
I'd say like 55-45.
In favor of the Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Barry, what's your prediction?
I'll go Spurs in 7. Here's the problem for the Thunder. They got a really good team. They could win. They wouldn't have to play over their head to win. However, they could play well, really well, and still lose a game in this series.
It's been
So
happening.
that
Closing
means,
time is.
So
We
that
haven't even
means
talked about it. But
they're going to have to play well to have a chance at this series. They're going to have to play well 5 times.
at least.
At least.
Probably
And 6 is more like it.
6. Yeah. They could throw out one clunker.
Can they
and
play
send it
well
somebody.
5 times in 7 games against an epic team, which is, I mean, this is one of the 15 best seasons, one of the 15 best teams in NBA history is who they're playing.
I think it's not necessarily they have to play like really crisply and well 5, 6, 7 times in the series. I think they need to play really, really hard at all times. And then I like them in the series. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they will. They have the game 2s against the Mavericks where they're just giving up offensive rebounds because their box outs aren't well, or they're like Durant last night when he gave a early back screen to Justin Anderson dunk. Like, they cannot have any of that.
Last night the offensive rebounding was a good point.
Yeah.
They let Dallas get a ton of offensive rebounds.
or Dwight Powell.
It was absurd. And a lot of it was just laziness.
So to me, it's not like, Kevin Durant just has to like be a sniper all series. It's just like, no, they just need to play really hard. Because if they do, then they're really, really athletic, and that bothers the Spurs.
No, I'm with you.
Blake Griffin out for the playoffs.
Wow.
That's the news that came down.
Breaking news.
Well,
I think Portland will win the series.
They might. They just might.
Portland's going to beat the Clippers.
You know what would be interesting? If you took this Portland team right now, you put them in this, you give them this series, put them in the second round, and Thunder didn't match Canner's contract. You give them Enes Kanter. They'd be interesting.
Well, they'd be an interesting team. They'd give up about 132 points a game, but they would score in bunches. They would score.
All right. That's basically ends it for the Clippers. Wow. What was is it like a torn quad or?
Yeah, just a quad. I don't know if it's torn, but
Part of that might be just be like, oh, Paul's out. And
Well,
Griffin's out
the words, some of the words last night were trying to be positive, but at one point Doc on the podium said, it's not good. He said, I don't know about Blake, but it's not good. I tell you that. So that's it.
That is it.
Golden State gets a bye into the finals, into the West Finals.
as if they needed any more breaks.
I mean, you get to play Houston and either the crippled Clippers or Portland.
It's all about if Curry's healthy. Like, you could almost sit Curry through the second round now.
Well, yeah.
And probably win.
Heck yeah. You couldn't. You had to worry about the Clippers. You don't have to worry about the Blazers.
Yeah. What would that go? If I guaranteed you Curry didn't play a game in the second round, how long does it take the Warriors to win that?
I'll say
series?
5.
Over Portland?
Yeah, I'll say 5.
With no Curry.
Portland beat them once this year.
Yeah, 5.
Handily.
5 or 6.
Yeah. Probably 5 or 6.
Portland scrappy.
About to get interesting. Especially around here.
That's so unfortunate for the Spurs and Thunder. They got to battle each other,
Yeah.
and meanwhile you got Golden State about to play Portland. Nobody even thought they'd be in the playoffs.
It's unfortunate for one of those two for sure. Whoever loses. That's why they can't look ahead and
No, I don't think.
how's Steph's
Let
injury
me promise
going.
you this: the Spurs won't, and neither will the Thunder. They're not going to look ahead.
Yeah, they can't. They just can't.
When you're in a cage with a tiger, you don't worry about the lion that's waiting for you outside the cage. You think, I got to get out of this cage.
The Cavs are the team right now that's like,
Oh, they're on easy street. Golly. They may be. You know what?
They're
They may be
real
in the
interested.
Bahamas. The whole dang team may be in the Bahamas, right?
Who
As
they
we
get in the next
speak.
round? Who they get in the next round?
they're going to get
Atlanta.
Boston or Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Boston.
That's a 5-game series.
Yeah, and then they're going to
The whole
get.
thing's a joke. The
And
East
then
is a joke.
and then think about who they might get. Okay, Raptors, Pacers,
Miami.
Heat, Hornets. Their toughest match was probably Miami, just because like this psychological LeBron thing, the experience of the Heat. But that's not. I mean, like,
5-game series.
yeah, I know.
Might be a sweep.
They might get rusty. The Cavs. They may play 4 straight sweeps. 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 0-4.
4-4-4?
Who are they rooting for in the West? The Thunder?
Gotta be.
Of like
Oh, yeah. Between the Thunder, Spurs, and,
Yeah.
and
Gotta be.
Warriors? Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I will say is if it is the Thunder, they'll be playing really well. But I mean, they clearly would be rooting for the Thunder. But that Thunder team that just went through the Spurs and beat the Warriors.
Yeah, we didn't see those.
Could
against
you
the
imagine Deion Waiters in the finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers? Just imagine that for a second.
KD Russ, thanks for getting me here. I got it now.
Step aside.
Oh boy. Whoop. Oh boy.
He would. Oh,
He would
man.
lose his mind, is
my-
what
He
he
would
would
lose
do.
his mind.
Oh,
The first game up there, who has home court?
it'd be Cleveland.
Cleveland's got home. Oh, my goodness. I'm hoping to see that
What
now.
did they finish? 57.
Yeah, I think they won.
games up.
Yeah, plus the tiebreaker. Beat them twice.
Well, yeah, that's right. 2.5 up. Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of series I want to see. You know, I want Steph healthy, and I'd love to see a Thunder Warrior series because we have not, in this era, we still have not seen a Thunder Warrior series, which, man, would that be fun.
Clippers would have been fun. The Thunder Clippers 2 years ago was big time fun.
Clippers Warriors was going to be really fun. I thought.
Now it's going to be Blazers Warriors.
I hope at this point, I'm rooting for the Blazers. I don't want to see the banged up
No,
Clippers
heck
out
no.
there wasting everybody's time.
That is a waste of time.
That is a waste of time.
All right. Well, we'll on this, fantastic note, we'll close the podcast. Talk to you again later this week.
Durant, pull-up jumper, off the rim, and and the Thunder win! Come on, let's sing the Thunder song. When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your Thunder buddy and say these magic words.